asking you to lead and guide these people as they come. I'm asking you to heal me, make me whole, make me ready.
Father, forgive me, for I have sinned.
And how so, my son?
I'm a vegetarian, and I went to an Adventist church. And while at the Adventist church, I was very young. But my soul has burdened me ever since. And as I was waiting in the potluck line after the sermon, I came up to this lasagna. There were two lasagnas, and one of them had this folded piece of paper on it. I didn't bother to read the piece of paper, and I thought, oh, what inconsideration, and I swiped it off and took a large scoop of wonderful lasagna. I ate it, and the other lasagna, and it tasted an awful lot like my mother's, which is vegetarian.
Go on.
And as I went up for seconds, my mother was with me this time, and she said, as I went to get seconds of this lasagna, she asked me why I was getting that one, that one had meat in it. Well, I had already eaten an entire large scoop. I didn't know what to do. And this has plagued me ever since.
Father, forgive me, for I have sinned.
How so, my son?
For almost my entire life, I've been a vegetarian, a devout vegetarian. I've dedicated my life to just following the guidelines of vegetarianism. And I was visiting family this Sunday afternoon. We went to a little diner there in town, and I ordered biscuits and gravy. And they brought out this plate to me, this beautiful, delicious smelling biscuits and gravy. And I took my fork and I ate a bite of this biscuit with the gravy. And it was mouth-watering. It was scrumptious. It was divine. And I consumed half the plate. And I was just having a good time, eating food, being with my family. And that's when I looked down. And as I looked down, before me, in my biscuits and gravy, were pieces of brown, flaky stuff. I didn't realize what it was. And so I picked at it with my fork, and I pushed it around, and I poked it. And that's when I realized that it was pieces of bacon. And I've never felt such shock and horror in my life. My face, my hand, the blood drained from me, and I didn't know what to do. And I hoped that I was within a dream, that I was imagining it, and that this wasn't real. And so I called the waitress to the table, and I asked her, I said, "Do you put bacon in your biscuits and gravy?" And she looked at me like I had gone mad. And she said, "No, we don't." And relief started to creep back into my soul. And that's when she told me, "But we do cook our gravy in the same pan we fry our bacon in." I went home. I was sick for days. I was just down. My soul was just being torn apart because of the sin I have committed. And so I ask you, Father, please, Forgive me.
You're forgiven, my son. Go home, be at peace. For every flake of bacon you've eaten, do one Hail Mary. But you are forgiven.
Thank you, Father.
No.
Thank you.
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned a most grievous sin.
How so, my son?
Last week, I went to the Happy Burger, and I ordered myself a grilled cheese sandwich, just like any other, meal. I bit into the sandwich. There was a weird, smoky taste. I opened the sandwich, and inside was a slice of bacon. And the bad part is, I liked it. I need forgiveness for enjoying something that I know I should not eat because I am a vegetarian, and my family are all vegetarians.
You are forgiven. For every second that you enjoyed the burger, say one Hail Mary.
Okay.
And give to the needy.
Thank you. Thank you, Father.
Father, forgive me, for I have sinned.
How so, my son?
It all started on a Sabbath afternoon, right after church, at potluck. I was sitting in the gym with all my friends, like any other Sabbath, just waiting for the food to be served. We were sitting there, just waiting for them to call the people, besides the visitors and the families with small children, to go through line. And then it happened. The back doors burst open, and in rushed a large brown bear. This bear, it was threatening everyone. It was growling and roaring and throwing its paws in the air. You know what bears do. It was terrifying. I knew I had to do something. I couldn't kill him, because the Lord said, "Thou shalt not commit murder." But I had to do something. Just as the bear rushed over to Mrs. Wilcox, the little old lady who hands out bulletins every week, although she doesn't quite realize that they're last week's bulletins, because I think she has Alzheimer's. I don't remember. Anyway, he was threatening her, about to engulf her in his mouth and devour her like a heathen carnivore. Oh, bears.
Carnivores are heathens.
I ran up to the bear and started grappling with it, like Jacob grappled with the angel. And then, I'm so sorry, I bit the bear. Father, I bit the bear. And I tore out a chunk of bear flesh. And I didn't mean to. I really didn't mean to. But Father, I think I swallowed some. I think I swallowed some bear meat. I didn't think it was real meat. I thought it was at an Adventist potluck. I assumed it was at least a tofu bear. I would think, because if it's not vegan, they're gonna mark it as not vegan. If it's meat, they've got to put a giant sign with flashing lights and a police officer showing people it's meat. I wasn't expecting it. It looked like a tofu bear. It smelled like a tofu bear. It even felt like a tofu bear. But it didn't taste like a tofu bear. Father, I'd never tasted something like this in my life. It was amazing.
The tofu bear.
Father, it was real meat. It wasn't a tofu bear. I'd never experienced anything like this before.
So, my son, what are you seeking forgiveness for?
Well, I knew it was wrong. I know I shouldn't be biting and eating and devouring real bear, or any type of meat for that matter, because that is a sin. The heathen carnivores are not what we should act like.